Hey guys, Psychic Pictures here, and welcome back to more Sakura Angels. Last time, which was a very long time ago, we had ourselves a little beach scene, we were having fun, and then all of a sudden, something appeared in the distance. What is it? We're probably gonna find out today. Let's begin. I peer out into the deep blue. I'm still not sure what all the fuss is about. I don't get it. Are you guys just messing around? Eh? Wait. Was the water always that dark? Hang on. That's a shadow. It's huge! Something's coming up from the ocean, slowly making its way towards us. Why can't I even get a single day off from all this madness? What can only be described as a gargantuan mass of ooze begins to emerge, bringing up half the sea with it as it towers, and towers, and towers over us. It's a grotesque creature that lets out a sinister gargle as it sets what I think are its eyes upon us. It towers up so high it eclipses even the sun behind it. It has to be as big as a common building, if not more so. Are you guys going to fight that thing? Can you even fight it? It continues to drag itself from out of the sea, slimy tendrils thrashing as it draws even closer. I can't imagine conventional weapons even scratching something as big as this. She doesn't sound very sure of herself there. I don't blame her at all. It moves so slow. Maybe we could just walk away from it? But then it might cause complete mayhem if it were to get anywhere further than the beach. I shudder to imagine the chaos that thing could cause in a busy street. Again, you're not filling me with confidence here. And Sayaka hasn't even donned her battle gear yet. Does she maybe realize how useless it is? She's simply analyzing it I don't even know what I was saying. A finger to her chin. Her hand gives off a faint glow as she furrows her brow in determination. The light in her hand intensifies, growing into a pulsating orb that hovers just over her palm. I wonder how this magic stuff works anyway. It's always so surreal whenever I see them just casually wield it like this. Something taps at my shoulder. Huh? Sayaka? She shushes me with a finger to her mouth, before taking hold of my wrist and dragging me a good distance away from Hikari, who is still focused fully on the slime. Eventually we end up behind a large rock cropping up out of the sand, out of sight from both Hikari and the monster. Understandably, I'm more than a little confused. What's up? Shouldn't you be helping her? Sayaka stifles a giggle and peeks back out at the scene unfolding on the shore. It looks like Hikari is just about ready to attack. Realized what? Oh! It's gonna explode! I raise an eyebrow. How the heck am I supposed to know something like that? Sayaka sighs before she slaps her hands together. It'll go boom! Yep, kinda. I don't get it. Is that a good thing? Or it's one less monster out to get me? A mischievous grin flashes across her face. I wonder if I should call out for Hikari to stop. But as I peek out from our shelter, it's too late. Hikari unleashes the magic she had built up, and it strikes the towering abomination in its center. Nothing happened. The orb of light was just swallowed up by the slime, as if nothing had struck it. I don't see what Sayaka was so worried about. Volatile? Ha! There was no reaction at... The monster detonates without warning in a dazzling explosion of harsh light and that takes over my vision. Shortly after, I hear a terrified cry from Hikari. As the light begins to fade, I hear the pitter-patter of something falling against the sand. Rain? No, the skies are practically clear today. I think it's much worse. I carefully take another look at the shore, making sure to stay well behind the rocky shelter. It's raining slime? A good amount of the vile ooze continues to coat the beach, all that remains of what was once a giant creature. Huh? I thought it would have put up a bigger fight. And at the center of the mess is a very traumatized Hikari, coated in a great deal of the stuff. The slime around her gives off a violent sizzle. Thankfully, it doesn't seem strong enough to cause any real harm, but it's ate away a good portion of her outfit. It's not a pretty sight. She says nothing. She doesn't even move. She's seized up completely under the foul substance, only occasionally blinking as the situation soaks in. Literally. The rain of slime finally comes to an end, making it safe to step out. Though, I have to be more careful to not step in any of the slime. Ugh. I can't even begin to imagine how Hikari must be feeling. Hikari, are you... But... Her shoulders are visibly shaking. Uh-oh. The world might have survived the giant slime, but it looks like we might have someone else that's about to go on a rampage. Sayaka chirps as she slinks from behind the rock too, a grin across her face. Sayaka clicks her tongue and nimbly evades the slime across the sand as she approaches her partner, still bearing the same smug look. Wait, something doesn't make sense. Sayaka, if you knew this was going to happen, why didn't you stop her? Where's the fun in that? What? Okay. Her smile suddenly looks all the more devious. This girl is pure evil. Hikari lets out a groan and attempts to pry herself free of the sticky substance that clings to her skin. Be strong, Hikari. Our fun at the beach comes to a rather abrupt and messy end, thanks to the unwanted guest having crashed the party. Naturally, we couldn't just leave the slime there as it was, so several more hours were spent in cleaning it up to make the beach safer. It wasn't a fun job at all. In fact, I think some of the slime must have still had some semblance of substance to it, as it stubbornly fought back against my best efforts to sweep it back into the ocean. Man, I can't believe I had to spend a good part of my day off sweeping up goop off the beach. I can't blame Sayaka, though. It's not like she knew this was going to happen when she came up with the idea. But her instance on watching Hikari make a mess of things didn't help matters. We trudged through the streets, the day well and truly gone. The sun sinks in the horizon, basking in the world in a hazy orange glow. Nobody says anything, and I can only see the exhausted face to either side of me. All the fuss at the beach really took it out of us. I don't think Hikari has even said more than a few words since she was first covered in slime. Despite the exhaustion, both of them still seem to be on their guard, their eyes scanning over the shadows as we continue on. Right. So far, with each walk home, Yuzuki has ambushed us. That deranged dark angel. It would only make sense if she were to swoop in while we were exhausted like this. It'd be an easy win. I won't even know if the girls have it in them to fight at the moment. But nothing. Nothing attacks us. No mad giggle from the shadows. No more monsters striking from the darkness. Just nothing. It's a bit hard to believe that after all the effort she went through in past nights, that she would simply just let us go for this time around. Unless she's deliberately trying to get us to lower our guard and is hidden further up ahead? I'm getting paranoid now. At the very least, I haven't had any more headaches since the slime at the beach. And usually, they're the most intense when I'm confronted by Yuzuki, for whatever reason. I'll trust my head. It seems to be the most reliable thing when it comes to those otherworldly encounters. We make it home, not a single dark angel in sight. I part ways with the girls with a lazy wave and a grunt, both of them responding with about the same level of enthusiasm. I think we all just wanted to pretend today didn't happen. Well, mostly Hikari. I somehow get the feeling she'll probably be the one to remember it the most, however. The rest of the evening is a blur. I think I ate dinner at some point, and maybe lazed around on the couch for a while watching a show I can't really remember much about, before finally crashing for the night. As I'm dragged into my dreams, I get the feeling that something terrible is lurking within them. Something I shouldn't ignore. But all I know is that I won't remember any of this the moment I wake up. Morning arrives. Again. My head is killing me. Again. I'm going to bed earlier each night, yet somehow I'm feeling more and more like garbage every time I wake up. I don't get it. The only difference today is that the usual cheery rays of morning sun are nowhere to be seen. In their place is the heavy sound of rain hammering against the window. Pulling back the curtains, today looks to be a gloomy day. Gray skies overhead cast a depressing shadow on the town below, the torrential downpour showing no signs of stopping anytime soon. Great. And I have to go out in this weather and all. It's not going to be a fun day, that much I can tell already. I stretch and let out a drawn-out yawn before I stagger towards the bathroom. Knock on the door first! Wait. My hand hovers over the handle as I just about stop myself from carelessly swinging the door open. That was a close one. I need to approach this situation carefully. Too many mistakes have been made before. I've been lucky to escape with my life before, but they might not be so forgiving a second time. Okay, deep breaths. I can do this. I thump the door a good several times with the back of my fist. Hello? Anyone in there? No response. But I've been fooled before. This proves nothing. I bang on the door again, even louder than the previous time. Nothing. Surely someone would have heard that if they were on the other side. Which means it might be safe? I bring the door open a crack. Just a little and peer through. So far, so good. I continue to open the door just a little more and a little more until I see it. A most wondrous sight takes my breath away. It's so beautiful. It's enough to move a man to tears. The bathroom is actually empty for once. No wacky misunderstandings, no awkward stares. I can actually just freely use the bathroom today without the threat of being torn apart. I waste no time in slipping inside and firmly locking the door. I even double and triple check the lock, something they should have been doing too, but I always forgot. After a peaceful shower, I make my way down to the kitchen where Hikari and Sayaka are waiting for me. Hikari gazes out the window, a look of disgust on across her face. With the laundry list of other things that annoy her, I guess it's no surprise that she hates rain too. That's what you think, Sayaka! Sayaka grins dangerously as something sparkles in her eyes. Uh-oh. Oh my freaking gosh, Sayaka! No! She tries her best to suppress a giggle, but fails, her laughter soon rocking the house. Conversely, Hikari is less than amused. Flustered, Hikari stomps a foot towards her mischievous partner. We haven't reached school yet, and they're already arguing. I think that's a new record. Oh! Burn! Realizing I am indeed still in the room, Hikari cuts herself short and clamps up. Aww. I guess I'll never be able to hear about this old school of theirs. The magic one that taught them all they know. No! Absolutely not! I don't need to. If it involves you stepping foot into the kitchen in any way, shape, or form, I already know my answer. Nope. No! Yeah, I'm not letting her or Hikari anywhere near the kitchen again. Even if they do somehow manage to leave the kitchen standing, I'm sure whatever monstrosity they concoct would do more damage to me than any monster lurking out there. Sayaka heaves a dramatic sigh, pierces her lips in a pout, and gives me a look that suggests I've been nothing but a massive disappointment to her. Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. It doesn't last long, though, before her usual cheery expression takes over again. I think it must have been impossible to truly upset this girl. After that little dose of excitement for the morning, I quickly prepare a meal for the three of us before we set out into the town and brave the storm. The rain shows no signs of letting up. But it looked beautiful outside! It's hard to believe that the weekend was as bright and cheerful as it was when the dark clouds have completely eclipsed the sun overhead now. We have nothing but flimsy umbrellas to defend ourselves with, that just barely hold under the immense downpour. I have my doubts if we're even going to be able to make it to school dry. I'm not really sure how it got this bad all of a sudden. If it keeps up throughout the day, we might have flooding to worry about. I feel a little silly for have this cross my mind, but I can't help but feel like that this is maybe the land laminating in some way, a sign of things to come. I don't know. I'm even thinking such nonsense. But it won't leave my head, no matter how hard I try. Looking back up to the skies, the clouds seem even more sinister than before. We make it to school without drowning, somehow. As we enter the classroom, Sayaka shakes herself dry, her hair swishing wildly, right beside Hikari. She stops and blinks innocently, the last drops of water splashing to the ground. I can't tell if she's just playing dumb here or if she really did it by accident. That's what makes her so scary sometimes. Hikari huffs and stomps over to her seat, with class just about to start. I follow suit and crumble into my seat with a sigh. What a depressing day it's turning out to be. As the teacher shows up and class begins, I get one last look out the window, the water streaming so heavily down the glass I can just barely make out what's on the other side. The lesson goes on, though with each passing moment I find it more and more difficult to focus on the subject at hand. The writing on the board blurring into an incomprehensible mess. I can feel it at the back of my skull. That familiar creeping pain. Why here? I've never had these headaches at school. They usually don't only crop up when something bad is about to happen. I guess it's not a full-blown headache, so I shouldn't have anything to worry about for now. Is it a warning? That something's coming? I don't know what to make of it all. I hear Sayaka whisper from the seat behind me, a gentle hand on my shoulder. I look to my side to see Hikari giving me an equally worried glance. Did I look that bad? Maybe the headaches are affecting me more than I thought. I nod my head and mustered up a faint smile. I can just barely even convince myself I'm fine, but it's enough to make them focus back on the lesson at hand. Lunchtime arrives, and I just barely recollect what I was taught. What subject even was it? That's not important right now. At least now, I have time to collect my thoughts and get a grip on the situation. Having hopped out of her seat, Sayaka skips to the front of my desk and peers down at me with a grin. I blink. It takes me a good second to register that anything has been said to me. Huh? Oh, you guys go ahead. I just have a bit of a headache. Sayaka offers a sympathetic look when I mention the headache. I knew something like that was gonna happen. Hikari pops out of nowhere and stifles Sayaka with the hand to her mouth before she begins dragging her out of the class. Sayaka muffles cries of distress are the last thing I hear before the pair vanish into the corridor. Huh? Wait. Headaches. Does that mean she knows I've been having them frequently? And more than likely knows the cause of them? If they know anything that will enlighten me of this bizarre series of recent events, then I really have to chase them up on it. I can't let something as important as this be slipped under the rug like everything else they've tried to keep from me. I rise up from my desk with a wobble, my legs not quite all there. They should be in the cafeteria, right? I start for the corridor myself, but someone catches my eye amongst this waves of students going by. Silver hair, amber eyes. A female student marches along with a blank expression. My head rings. Where have I seen her before? Wait, is she really... There's no doubt about it. She's the dark angel that has been making our lives a living hell. Yet, she seems like a completely different person right now. Gone is any trace of madness. All I see right now is an emotionless schoolgirl. Yuzuki? Her name falls out of my mouth the moment I come to the realization. Has she always been at this school? How did I not notice something as obvious as this before? Our eyes lock across the crowds. I fear something terrible is going to happen as dread sets in. But her gaze quickly flickers away before she carries on about her business. Huh? She was so intent on getting me before, and now she wants nothing to do with me? Something isn't adding up here. I know it's a stupid and reckless thing to do, but I can't help but chase after her. If I go to get Sayaka and Hikari, she might be gone by then. It's hard to keep up with her as the waves of students crash against me, everyone in a frenzy to get their lunch. But I just about managed to catch a glimpse of her heading for the staircase. Yuzuki, wait! She pays me no attention and continues to ascend the stairs. Why am I following her? I don't know what I can possibly get out of this beyond an early demise. Yet, I still insist on hiking up the stairs after her. She seems so different. Maybe I'm just secretly hoping that there's more to her than the initial crazed monster that confronted us 2 times before. Something that will help me make sense of this mess. I reach the top floor, breathless after climbing the stairs 2 steps at a time. I peer out into the corridor to try to see where she might have gone to, but there's nothing. I'm sure I wasn't that far behind, though. So where did she disappear to? I mean, this is where the stairs end. Unless... will she really be out there? In this weather? I make for the staircase again, to go up the short flight of stairs leading to the rooftop. The rain sounds are more violent than ever outside. I can't possibly imagine someone willingly wanting to be out there, but I have to check just to be sure. I fight against the raging winds and heave the door open. Yuzuki? There she is, standing by the fencing, gazing out over the town with a hand idly gripping the mesh. And I think this is a good place to stop. So, with this, we've actually seen Yuzuki herself in school. And I was actually recently looking at the Sakura Angels videos that I have posted earlier. In episode 2, we actually see Yuzuki in her school uniform. It's very brief, but we do see her. And when I saw her, I was like, wait a second. That's her. And I have one new item in my inventory. But jeez. her being in the school, that begs the question, what is she doing? What are her intentions? And as I can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pictures we have not seen yet. But anyway, this has been Psychic Pictures, and I'll see you guys next time for more Sakura Angels.